All right, Tony here, Transformation Fitness and Wellness, fitness professional training and program, fulfillment of service. It's going to be client accountability. That's what we're talking about today. Huge component of our service model, and it's one thing that we do totally different than any other facility here. So here in Indianapolis, and we're going to touch on the importance of it, how it operates, how to fulfill it, how to communicate, and then the technology we're going to use as well. So we'll get started here. We're going to talk about client accountability. We're going to talk about client grading. We grade them based upon accountability. Client grading email notifications, how some automation is going to roll out, and then client grading dashboard, how it's going to notify you as a fitness professional when you got to contact specific clients or if you forgot to contact a certain client. So, client accountability is a guiding principle that defines how we make commitments to one another, how we measure and report our progress, and how we interact when things go wrong, and how much ownership we take to get things done. It is, in essence, the nerve center that runs throughout every part of TF Wellness program. Because that's a huge component. You got to hold people accountability to make it through sessions, hold them accountable to habit modification. So, this is, again, a huge component of our service model, and this is a thing we do fairly well. Obviously, we can always do better at every component, but it's something that we do a pretty good job with. So, the grading component, what you do is you're going to grade clients out. It's based on the key components of our program. And if somebody comes in, brand new client, we're always going to grade them lower on accountability, so that way they get more attention. Because we're going to look at the key components, their nutrition, how is their cardiovascular activity outside the session and or the cardio classes, what's their muscular strength and endurance looking like, the progression within their workouts, their progression within their assessment, and are they consistently making the sessions? Because you got to make it, you got to show up. If you don't show up, you're not going to be successful. Obviously, showing up can be half the battle for some people. So with that, we grade them down into different components based upon where the individual needs more help. So we break it down A, B, and C. It's pretty simple. C clients are going to be clients that need touched a lot, once a week. That's the minimum we communicate with them. B clients will communicate with every 2 weeks, and A clients every 3 weeks. All the new clients that come into our facility, we'll grade them a C because we need to integrate them to our system, and we need to be making contact with them on a weekly basis. So it may be emails, phone calls, face-to-face after the session, whatever it may be, and whatever it takes to help that client. So, client grading categories, again, I'm going to break it down. I kind of give you an overview of how we do that and why. Now I'm going to go in a little bit more detail. So A clients are doing well with nutrition. They're performing cardio outside the session. They make it all scheduled sessions. This type of client is seeing progression and reaching goals every assessment. So we, every 6 weeks we do the assessment. The A client, to be categorized A client, they've got to continually see progression, and their assessments will show that. From there, this client will have success stories, and they will be a raving fan who wants to refer people. It's a client that we want to work with and loves us, and we love them. A clients would be contacted by phone or email one time outside the session in a 6-week period on week 3. So that week 3 notification will come through the system from an accountability standpoint. And then you'll make contact with that client, whether it's going to be email, face-to-face, and or a phone call. But you will track all that information in Infusionsoft. So all the information is always tracked regardless of if you do a phone call or face-to-face. B clients may struggle with nutrition or cardio outside the session. They are not seeing progression based on the goals set in the assessment. They are also not as consistent as A clients, so they may be making it some sessions and then they'll miss a few. B clients may miss sessions and not make them up in the same week, so they're just not motivated to make it up, and maybe things are going on, or it's not a priority. Then if it's not, then we would really have to look at them and maybe push them back into a C accountability just based upon where they're at personally and professionally. The client that is ready to be will need to be contacted outside the session every 2 weeks. If the B client is struggling with nutrition, then they must track nutrition. If the B client is struggling with cardio outside the session, then they must have some goals and expectations set and talked about every 2 weeks. And they may have to make, cardio sessions outside there for the next month or whatever goal and accountability you set with them. But again, we really have to be, true with the client and understand how to grade them out based upon the help they need. And then the C clients may struggle with nutrition and cardio outside the session. They're not seeing progression based on goal set and assessment, and they're struggling to make all scheduled sessions. The clients that are rated C will need to be contacted outside the session every week. If the C client is struggling with nutrition, then they must track nutrition. If the C client is struggling with cardio outside the session, then they must have some goals and expectations set and talked about every week. C clients need touch weekly. They need a lot more love. We're going to have to work on habit modification. If they're not making the cardio, we need to have them commit to making every cardio session for a month, things like that. We need to really work on getting fitness a part of their life. And then with client grading, we're going to use Infusionsoft as our main application. It manages a ton of clients and it helps us communicate with them. So after the assessment information is complete, you will need to go to the internal form 30 fulfillment, client accountability. This form will be located in the client's contact record as well, kind of what I showed you. And I'll show you an example of this in Infusionsoft as well. This is internal form. It's called 30 fulfillment, client accountability. You'll click on that, fill out. This will pop up. And again, it just reiterates what I've talked about. Clients will be given letter grade A, B, or C accountability support. And that's truly what it is. It's grading them based upon how much accountability they need. So you'll either click A, B, and C. If it's a brand new client, they're always going to go in C. Obviously, based upon the other categories and criteria, a client will be B or A. You'll hit save, and it's going to kick them into that campaign. So this will get, based upon a timer and based upon you grading them so say it's a C client, every week you'll get a notification like this. You need to contact Ann for support outside the session. Week 3, it even tells you what week you're in. Week 3 accountability. Again, it tells you what to do. You need to go to the internal form, 30 fulfillment. Kendra's one of our Fit Pros right now. It's under her, so it's 30 fulfillment, Kendra, client accountability, C client, week 3, accountability checkup. And once you go to that, then you'll fill out the accountability based upon what you performed. So if we go to that next here, so client grading email notification. So sorry, there was a little glitch in the in the PowerPoint that I missed. So once you hit that internal form, so we'll go back here. So you'll have this email. This is the internal form. So you see here this underlined 30 fulfillment, Kendra. I should have used her in the next example. That threw me off track. You go to here, it's 30 fulfillment, Adam, client accountability. That's the internal form. Once you click that to fill it out, here's what you see. Again, it's going to say week 3, C client accountability. The SMART goals were set during the assessment process. So every 6 weeks, goal body weight of 185. So this kind of gives you a breakdown. And then the next portion is the accountability plan that was established with that client during the assessment process. This specific accountability plan, 2 times a week at TF Wellness, 2 times at home on treadmill. Maybe they're taking workout and cardio, try interval training once a week, 1 time long walk. So that's the plan that they're going to have for this next 6 weeks. And then based upon that, here is the notes from the actual accountability communication. So these notes will actually go out to that client. So whatever you communicated or talked to them about, say you had a phone conversation, and just let them know, hey, after this phone conversation, I'm going to put kind of what we talked about in the accountability plan, and it's going to be emailed out to you. You can review it if you would like, but I'm going to send it to you regardless. Or if you didn't have the opportunity to communicate with them face-to-face or phone, this is where you're going to communicate with them. You're going to say, hey, Ray, great job last week and the week before on squats, keep up hard work. Whatever, it's going to say yada, 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 whatever else you talked about. Be detailed. Say, man, I've seen you in the studio and I'm glad you're making all your sessions. never type in, have you been to your session? Because obviously if you do that to me and you coach me, have you made it? I'm going to say, well, I'm going to think to myself, well, you're not paying attention. So why am I hiring you as a coach? So you always got to be more proactive. You got to go look and make sure that client is making it to the session. But all this information is going to be kicked out to the client here. And then you also have another notification, and this notification is on your Infusionsoft dashboard. So if you need to contact somebody, it's gonna let you know up here. So like the arrows over on the number 1, it says Adam needs to contact B client for accountability. So he must contact that person this week. Once he contacts them and saves the notes he's taken, it will move them out of the dashboard. So say if you forgot to contact somebody, if you see over here, did not contact, if you clicked on that, then it's going to pull their name up, and then you can go and contact them and make sure that nobody slips through the cracks. That's really what it's designed for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kick into the Infusionsoft app and just kind of show you real time as far as what it looks like grading a client. Just give you a couple of examples real time. Just bear with me because it's going to take me a few seconds to get this up and running. I'm going to grab a live client as well. So I'm going to grab a client out of our active client list. So we're going to grab Lindsay Newton. So we're going to click on Lindsay's name. We're going to go down and say we needed to grade her out. We're going to go to the internal forms. You'll find internal forms here. If you go 30 fulfillment, so we already done the assessment here. Now we're going to client accountability grading. We're going to fill that out. Boom. Based upon our category, she is A, B, or C. Click, save. Boom. We're done there. Now, if we were needing to follow up with accountability, say it was week 1 of Lindsay's accountability, and she's a C client, we need to do her checkup. So say my name is Kendra, one of our Fit Pros. I'm going to go find my specific 30 fulfillment, Kendra, accountability C, week 1. So I have to scroll through here and find that. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to get to it. So there it is. So 30 fulfillment, client accountability C, week 1 is the checkup. So we'll click on this internal form, and then you'll have to fill this out. The goals: lose 3 to 4 pounds, body fat down, accountability outside the session. So it goes into detail here. My fitness found, continue taking ab work here, and then week 1 accountability notice. It looked like you were having a great time on vacation, blah, 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 which is good, because they're not in the studio, but you're still saying, hey, I heard that you're doing X, Y, and Z outside here. So that's really good customer service. And then hit save. So that person's on vacation this week. You're still going to get a notification. Hey, how you doing on vacation? I heard you're having fun, yada, yada, yada. So that will trigger off that email to that client, letting them know that you're checking up on them. And here's the notes, and here's what they've seen, and here's what you need to work on. So that is all through the internal forms. Now, I think some of the other training modules, you'll see the emails that come through to the clients as well. So this is the end of, obviously, the accountability one. Again, accountability is a huge component of what we do here, and it's very important for clients to be successful.